How did you link safety to personality style?
I had made my mind up a couple of years earlier that I was going to go ahead and start a company with some other people who wanted to start with me, one of which is Paul Grant, who's still with us today, obviously. I wasn't actually in the HSE position when these fatalities happened. I'd already moved on and had started coaching some of the managers around the world.
Mm.
And most of the managers that we had were very technically competent. And some of them always said they'd like a little bit more coaching in terms of their leadership and interpersonal skills. So I was literally going around the world with these managers. We'd go out to a rig, we'd sit with the crews, and we'd just start asking questions. What are your strengths? And a couple of other questions. And what I realized very quickly is wherever we were going in the world, I remember being in Abidjan in West Africa, in Thailand, in Australia, the answers were coming out exactly the same, even in the same order.
Mm-hmm.
And so the predictability probably was one of the first things that really started to amaze me. And then we just started to build up from there. So literally when we started Equilibrium, we had one single laminated card which said how I could get hurt. And by that time, we'd had enough information. We had 5 answers to each one of the 12 color combinations. And we happily pranced into BP, British Petroleum. That's the only thing we had. And actually, while we were there, the oil company happened to be Chevron, who had the rig in Nigeria, said, hey, come on back to us. We see what you're doing. We've seen the results. I mean, they went from fatalities to 0 incidents over a 3-year period. And a new vice president came in who saw what we were doing. He said, I want this on every rig that we work around in the world. And Mark, as you can imagine, it just grew from there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And just being able, from a health and safety perspective in a high risk industry, to be able to be proactive enough to, not be looking at this in accident investigations and saying, procedure and personality came into it and that's why there was a problem. Actually doing it up front with people so that we don't end up in those places is what every health and safety person would like to have in their toolkit. And actually,
absolutely,
for you to be able to have been doing this for some years in this high risk, industry, I think is fantastic. And as we say, anecdotally and statistically, we can back these discussions up because it becomes very interesting when you see the improvement opportunities in every single company.